Greetings, my geeks, nerds, gamers, and lanners. Welcome to Enticement Gaming. It is I, once again, Mr. G63, and today I welcome you to this short series of Autonaut tutorials. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the production of food. So without further ado, let us begin. With the creation of food, we have in the beginning of the game two options. These options are the mushroom and the berry tree. I'm going to teach you today how to harvest and produce both of these delectable delights. So let us continue. As you can see, I have got 4 bots ready and waiting. We are going to be starting off with the harvesting of mushrooms. And now you might be asking yourself, how do we go about harvesting the first of these delectable delights? So I say to you, we use in the beginning, if you don't have a spade or a flail, we can use the almighty stick. And I saith unto thee, with this stick shall I thee beateth until food droppeth like manna. So what you do is you just left click on the mushrooms with your stick in hand, and you will harvest your first. Mushroom. So we left click to pick it up, right click to deposit it into our crate that has just magically appeared here before us. So how do we automate this wonderful thing? So I have got 4 little bots ready and waiting and pre-programmed. So let us start with Mr. Digger. So Mr. Digger will be taking a spade, which he already has, and finding the nearest soil in this area and moving to the soil and digging. Now, as you will notice, I have used a checkerboard formation for this. The reason for this is so that when harvesting our mushrooms, these mushrooms will fall into one of these 4 blocks, thus giving us maximum of 3 options for the mushrooms to land in. So let's hit play and see Mr. Digger do his work. Now that we have a few holes ready and waiting for us to plant, we can now move over to Mr. Planter. So, as you can see, Mr. Planter will be moving towards the mushroom storage right over here, right next to me, and collecting mushrooms until his hands are full. Then he will find the nearest hole and use the mushrooms on the hole. So, let's see how this works. Here he comes and picks up the mushrooms. Heads towards the nearest hole and stomps it into the ground. Now we are going to sit and wait and watch mushrooms grow. Yes, seriously, mushrooms do take quite a while to grow, so please be patient with them. If you look in the bottom right hand corner, you will see the status of your mushrooms. Now currently our mushrooms are still growing, so a little more patience is required. Now you can see that we have now got a fully grown mushroom. Now what we need is someone who can pick these mushrooms for us. So the next little fairy on our little work group here is of course Piggy. Now I called this one Piggy because pigs are normally used to harvest the truffles. So truffles are a type of mushroom, we're harvesting mushrooms, so Mr. Piggy. Now his job will be to use his spade to go find the nearest fresh mushrooms and harvest and dig them out from the ground. Let us see him hard at work. Now for each of the mushrooms that you harvest with a spade, you can get between 2 and 3 mushrooms at a time. Using a stick, however, you may get 1 or maybe 2 mushrooms each time. Now that we have got a few of these mushrooms lying around waiting to be picked up, we are now going to be going to our last member, the storer. So his job will be basically to pick up all the mushrooms, place them back in the storage bin so that Mr. Planter, sorry, forgot the name right there, can then plant more mushrooms. And so the cycle continues. Now, as it has started to rain, we are now going to be moving over to the berry plantation. Now, berries are slightly different to mushrooms. Where mushrooms, you plant them and dig them up for more mushrooms. Berries, you only have to plant once. Now, once again, we are going to be looking at the magical stick of truth and using it to get our first berries. So let's quickly show you how this works. You pick up your stick, you left click on the bush, and as he beats that bush, the stick will also deteriorate, so be careful. You are going to need to use multiple sticks in the beginning. Now as you can see, I picked up 1 berry from this, so I'm going to deposit it into the crate and we are going to get started. So as I go here to my little bot list over here, and as you can see, I've got quite a few teams and my Shroomers are busy doing their business right here. See, we've already got another new batch of mushrooms ready and waiting to grow and be harvested. So let us start with our berry bushes. The berry bush beaters? Need to figure out a name there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, of course, move to the crate and go get ourselves a spade. We're going to grab the spade until our hands are full. Then we are once again going to be digging a hole right here in the middle of where we want to plant our berries. But the main difference here is that we want to keep these berries in nice rows. So we're going to be using our vertical rows where we can now be digging holes in order to plant our berry bushes. So let me just quickly get that. Put that inside there and say until my hands are empty. And we're going to be repeating that basically forever, but not really, because we're only going to be digging these holes once. So I'm just going to quickly close that hole up. I like my stuff to look neat and tidy. So there you go, and you are now going to be part of Team Berry Manilow. There we go, Berry Manilows. Cool. So we're going to move you into the berry Manilow team, and there we go. Now he's going to be digging a few holes here and there to plant our berries. Next one is we are going to have someone take berries and plant them. So we right click on the hole, there we go, make sure that we instruct them to do it as much as possible, so until hands are full, and do this until hands, oh no, yes, that's right, until hands are empty. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna plant that there, something to do that forever, and go for it. So now you'll see our first guy, he is busy digging holes. The second one is going to be filling these holes with berries, and therefore a beautiful berry bush will start growing. Now, to harvest these berries, you will first of course have to wait for the bush to mature. Once this bush has matured, we are going to instruct our next guy to go and pick up a stick. Now we just need one stick. There we go. And I'm going to tell him to come back here. Oh dear, did I just forget to record that? I can't believe it. Okay, I'm just going to drop the stick off here. Pick up a stick. Just one stick. Come back here. Now we're going to wait for this bush to mature so that we can then thrash it to get the berries. Alternatively, I can just tell it to thrash that one and just move the area. There we go. And we're going to move the area. Cool. Okay, now I'm going to do this one a little bit different. So I'm going to control and select those instructions, put it inside there, move that to the top, do that until hands are empty, and do that forever. So basically what's going to happen is if his hands are full, he's going to carry on beating these bushes until that stick breaks. Then he's going to move to stick storage and take one stick and return. So there we go. As you can see, he is now thrashing that bush and a berry pops out. Let's have a look. How many berries do we get with this one? Oh, only one. Oh well. One is better than none. So let's grab our next guy, and his job of course is going to be to pick up the berries. So there we go. We say yes, we tell him to repeat that until his hands are full, and then we're going to drop them off here until his hands are empty. Now before we continue, I just want to make sure that he gets a much bigger area than where the bushes are, because as you know, when you thrash a bush or dig a mushroom or chop down a tree, there is a chance that it will land next to the plant in any direction. So we make sure that we cover all the areas surrounding. Just one block is sufficient, and therefore we will then be able to harvest all the berries that we need. If you do have a few berry blocks nearby each other, then you can actually tell it to extend that area so that you can harvest a little bit from the others as well. So get berries until your hands are full, move berries to storage until your hands are empty, and repeat. So let's send them out. And there you have it. A good way to create a production line regarding your plants and foods. So thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe for further episodes. I will be trying to upload every Monday, so hit that notification button and comment down below. Now if you know of a game that you would like to give the G63 treatment to, leave a comment and I will see if I can review it. So for now, shop millipop, stay lekker and see you on the refresh.